Not that long ago, Kylie Jenner was on the cover of Forbes magazine, being called the world's youngest self-made billionaire. Fast forward to today, and she's selling her mansion at a loss and promoting mobile games on her Instagram. So what on earth happened? Okay, let's get into this because it is a fascinating story of how a brand can shoot to the moon and then just fall apart in public.
And that's really the big question, isn't it? We've all seen the weird headlines and the social media posts that just don't make sense. It really feels like the untouchable empire she built is starting to show some really serious cracks. So we're going to break down exactly how we got to this point.
I mean, the signs are pretty much everywhere. When a celebrity who's famous for living this crazy luxury lifestyle starts making moves that feel, I don't know, a little desperate, people are going to notice. Selling a mansion she owned with Travis Scott for less than what she paid for it, those bizarre game ads, it all points to a much bigger problem. And this isn't just about money. It's about a brand that's in a full-blown crisis. To really understand the fall, we have to go right back to the beginning.
So let's rewind the clock. Before the whole empire thing, Kylie was just the youngest of the Kardashian Jenner sisters. And honestly, she was mostly in the shadow of her supermodel sister, Kendall. She was even cruelly called the ugly sister in the early days of their fame. But wow, that perception was about to change in a huge way.
What's truly wild is how fast she flipped that narrative. She completely transformed her look, and in doing that, she basically became the face of the mid-2010s aesthetic. This all led to the infamous Kylie lip challenge, you remember that? A viral trend that, yeah, was dangerous, but it proved she had the culture wrapped around her finger. The next step was a no-brainer: sell the very thing that made her famous.
And oh, did she sell it. When Kylie Cosmetics launched its first lip kits, the very first batch sold out in 2 minutes. 2! Now look, this was probably a smart marketing trick. Make a small amount to create insane hype and scarcity. But you know what? It totally worked. It cemented her as this major force in business that you had to take seriously.
That incredible launch was just the start. The brand absolutely exploded, and so did her supposed net worth. And that led to what should have been the absolute peak of her career. But, funny enough, this peak was also the exact moment her public image started to sour.
This Forbes cover, this was it. This was the climax of her whole story. It was everywhere. It was this massive declaration of success. I mean, at just 21 years old, she had apparently done what most people can't do in a lifetime. But the world immediately got hung up on 2 little words: self-made. The backlash from the public was immediate, and it was harsh. People were like, hold on, how can someone born into one of the most famous and richest families in the world be self-made? You had people comparing her to actual entrepreneurs like Huda Kattan, who really did start from nothing. This whole controversy started to chip away at that connection she had built with her fans.
But then the real bombshell dropped. A little while later, Forbes actually retracted their story. They claimed they had been misled and that the family had maybe even altered tax documents to make Kylie look wealthier than she was. For her credibility, this was absolutely devastating. The story changed overnight from business genius to just another celebrity using fame and, well, maybe some deception.
You know, in the wake of that Forbes scandal, and after she sold a majority stake in her company, it just seemed like Kylie lost her magic touch. What followed was just this rapid-fire series of product launches that were poorly thought out and, frankly, poorly made. First on the list was Kylie Skin. The main product, a walnut face scrub, was just torn apart by dermatologists and customers. They said it was way too harsh, and tons of people reported it actually damaged their skin. The reviews were brutal. The brand that was supposed to be her next billion-dollar idea was a total flop right out of the gate. Then came maybe her biggest scandal of all, Kylie Swim. Now, this should have been an easy win, right? Kylie is known for her bikini pictures, but when the $80 swimsuits actually arrived, people were horrified. The material was cheap, it was flimsy, and in a lot of cases, it was completely see-through. The backlash was so bad the entire brand, including its social media, just poof, vanished.
Okay, so after a quiet period, she comes back in 2023 with a clothing line, Kai. But again, it just didn't hit the mark. The collection felt totally random. You had leather, puffers, hoodies, all with no clear theme. It was immediately hit with accusations that she stole designs from an indie brand, and the reviews pointed out that the clothes just didn't fit most people very well.
And that brings us right up to today. Instead of maybe focusing and fixing her mistakes, the strategy seems to be just launch everything and anything. In March of 2024, she launched a perfume. Just a few weeks after that, a line of canned alcoholic drinks. So perfume, then alcohol, right after a failed clothing line. It just leaves everyone asking, what is the Kylie Jenner brand anymore?
So why is this all happening? It's definitely not just bad luck. There are some really clear, fundamental issues with her business strategy that explain this whole string of failures. Let's break it down.
Okay, so one of the biggest problems goes all the way back to her original success. It's been kind of an open secret for years that her famous Kylie lip kits, which were priced like a premium product, were made in the exact same factory with almost identical formulas as the much cheaper brand ColourPop. Once her stuff hit retail stores and wasn't just being bought online by hardcore fans, everybody started to realize the quality just wasn't worth the price tag.
The problem becomes crystal clear when you compare her strategy to her sisters. I mean, look at Kim. She focused like a laser on Skims for years, working with experts, and built it into a billion-dollar brand. Khloé did the same thing with her denim brand, Good American. They've focused. Kylie's strategy, on the other hand, seems to be to just slap her name on anything and everything and hope something works. All it's done is dilute her brand and destroy consumer trust.
So after all of this, where does it leave her? The money definitely hasn't run out, but something way more valuable is on the line.
Her entire brand identity is what's at risk. She built this whole perception of being a trendsetter, a source of cool, aspirational, luxury products, but a bunch of cheap, badly made products and a total lack of focus, that completely goes against that image.
And let's be super clear here. No, Kylie Jenner is not broke. But her ability to pay for that lavish lifestyle depends completely on how strong her brand is. If people stop believing in the Kylie name, they're going to stop buying her products. And if the businesses keep failing, she can't maintain the very image that made her famous to begin with.
Which leaves us with the big, final question. In this economy, people are sick of celebrity cash grabs. They want real value and they want authenticity. So can she learn a lesson from her sisters, pick one thing, and actually commit to quality to win her audience back? Or have we already watched the Kylie Jenner empire come to an end?